Hello and welcome to our 20th episode of Toonami Preflight. I am Gil Austin. I am joined by...
Jason DeMarco.
Well done, sir.
I know my name.
Today you do. Today we are going to be talking about Batman Beyond, one of our previous iteration Toonami shows. We're going to be talking about what we think is the best outfit in anime, both mine and Jason's picks. We've got a piece from Dana on... Well, I guess I don't want to spoil it too much, so I guess we'll let you know what that is further down the line. We're going to talk about our live broadcast from San Diego Comic-Con, and we've got a fan promo and a sneak peek and all sorts of sweet goodies today. But now we are going to be talking Batman Beyond, or, if you live not in the United States, Batman of the Future.
Batman of the Future.
Which is such a better title. Don't you think?
No.
Maybe not. To each their own. But either way.
Batman of the Future. Batman many years down the line.
I guess Future Batman I would like.
Future Batman is cool.
Batman of the Future.
Batman several years later.
Batman one score and
or just
4 years
or
beyond.
Like Batman next, like Pepsi next.
Batman Crystal.
So Batman Beyond is it's actually a sequel to Batman the Animated Series and the New Adventures of Batman, which was kind of part 2 of the Batman Animated Series. And
in that DC animated universe.
Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, of course. And I think it lasted for 4 seasons, and basically the premise of the show is this is 30 years or so after...
I think it's not quite that long, but yeah, pretty close.
It's 20... The hilarious part is it's 2019, so it's 4 years from now when they have flying cars.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Where are the flying cars?
So Batman is retired, and through
forced into medical retirement from a weak ticker.
Yeah, and through a series of random events, he meets up with...
Or are they?
Terry McGinnis, who then takes on the mantle of the new Batman, and he fulfills the role of sort of more like Alfred, but with a little more control than Alfred. So again, Batman as a grandfather figure rather than the normal Batman as father figure. And instead of Robin, it's another Batman, which I think it's a really cool way to like continue everything.
Yeah,
you still
like
get
beyond Batman. Almost.
Yeah, it doesn't erase any of the history of the show. Like the commissioner in the show is Barbara Gordon, Jim Gordon's daughter, who he's known for years and was Batgirl.
Spoiler alert.
The Joker has disappeared, and you find out later why that was. There's all kinds of cool history that you can delve into. Why don't we show... So this show premiered in syndication.
Yes, in the late 90s, 99-ish, I would say.
And the weird thing is, this is back when... This basically doesn't happen anymore, but this is back when cartoons would be created to air in syndication, and they would be picked up wherever. I think this show premiered on WB, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then we picked it up after it had been on the air for a bit, but not...
Yeah, before it was done...
it was when it was fairly new.
Yeah, we got it in 01, I think.
Yeah.
And ran it for a couple of years through 03-ish.
Yeah, and we were super psyched because we loved the old Batman series, and it looked like a lot of fun. And it did pretty well, as I recall. And then eventually, we'll talk more about the show later. Let's show the Toonami promo we made for this, which is one of my faves, and you will hear my voice in here.
It's true.
In the year 2039, Gotham City has no heroes. Its people, no hope. Its youth, no future. Terry McGinnis was part of the problem until a moment of violence brought him to the door of a man named Bruce Wayne, once known as the Batman. Now, the Dark Knight will rise again to drive the shadow of evil from the streets of Gotham. Supervillains, beware. There's a new Batman in town. Batman Beyond. Weeknights at 6:30. Justice returns to Gotham. Only Toonami.
Love a good fist to the face as an ending to a promo. So actually, I got it wrong.
You got it sort of.
The show takes place in 2039. Batman retired in 2019. So, guys, we've only got 4 years of Batman left. Let's enjoy it.
So hopefully he's taking his nitroglycerin pills and keeps that heart on going past 2019.
But one thing I love about this show is I feel that there's a heavy Akira influence, particularly in the first couple episodes, because there's like the Joker motorcycle gang. They have
I mean, it's Neo Gotham.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
full on
clear. There's a clear influence from Akira. You can tell if you've seen that movie and seen the pilot of this show. But Batman Beyond, I think, in general, was a very it holds up really well.
Yeah,
it still
looks
really
good.
Yeah.
I mean, considering it's 20 whatever years old now.
It's old. I don't know.
14 years old, 17 years old. No, math is not my strong
suit. But you know, it kind of took you through basically the evolution of a lot of different Batman villains. You find out the history of what happened to certain people. They looped in a few Justice League characters, and then
finale'd it on
Justice League. Yeah, I mean, basically what happened with this... It's tough to be a Warner Brothers DC fan because the shows always get canceled sort of without any...
Plan
just
or
like,
thought,
it's just like, we're done with that. So basically, as I understand it, the creators pitched... They had a good time with the Justice League characters they brought into the future Justice League they brought into Batman Beyond, and they pitched a Justice League show, which of course became that show. And once that show got greenlit, Warner Bros. Was like, okay, well, you got to cancel that one. So they
it's like there can't... It's
be more
one
than
big
one.
universe, but yeah, there can Highlander style. There can be only one animated series on at a time, and then
it's kind of weird.
Justice League Unlimited, I think, got canceled because Batman Beyond was coming on, and that wasn't in the world, and they thought that was too confusing, so then they canceled.
No, you mean Batman?
Beware the Batman.
Yeah, Beware the Batman. I'm not sure. I just know that DC shows get canceled. But at least Batman Beyond ran for 4 years, and they did have a finale of sorts inside Justice League, which I also think is kind of weird because they sort of retroactively rewrote Terry McGinnis, spoiler alert, as Batman's clone or son, depending on how you want to look at it.
Surrogate, sort of.
And I think that's really dumb and totally unnecessary. I don't know why he has to be a clone of Bruce Wayne to be good at being Batman. And they also evidently they asked the creators. I don't know. I think it was Bruce Timm. I'm not sure. Maybe it was Paul Dini. But they asked him. So does that mean Terry's little brother is also a clone of Batman?
Yeah, sure. Yes,
So it's like there's 3 Batmans running around for no reason other than cool. But despite that, I think they did a great job with the show in general. It was darker. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did because they had this cheesy metal music in it. And
it was Bruce Timm. I remember, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is going to be the one for kids," and then it's like totally bananas.
That might be one of the reasons they keep getting canceled. Yeah, I mean, it's a darker show. It's probably the darkest of the Batman shows, and particularly the infamous Return of the Joker movie.
Yeah,
which
all kinds of crazy.
Which all kinds of dark because the Joker basically tortures and drives Robin insane. And I mean, it's like the darkest of all the Batman movies. It was so dark it had to be edited, and then a version came out that was PG-13, which was, I think, the first Warner Brothers animated PG-13 thing. They were super flipped out about it. But so, despite the darkness of the show, I think that's one of the reasons why it's so good and why it still feels relevant.
Yeah. It just seems crazy, at 4 o'clock, see Robin get back touched into nuts town.
And I did I do like about Batman Beyond how they sort of do this Spider-Man thing where it's sort of he's a teenager who's got teenager problems.
Yeah.
But he's been thrown into this larger world of the Batman and his problems. And then there's a spin-off, the Zeta Project, which I totally forgot about until rewatching this show, which was actually pretty good and lasted for 20 episodes. So one thing I like about the DC, animated universe, as Paul Dini writes it anyway, and Bruce Timm, illustrates it and directs it, is that they're sort of all feel like one big long show. And before the Marvel Connected Universe thing, these shows were kind of doing it. They don't do it anymore, really, but I like going back and rewatching them because things echo through other shows in interesting ways.
I wonder if that's a cause, because the shows keep getting canceled, or they keep getting canceled because of that. Which is the correlation? Are you not so worried because you can sort of continue that story along, or is it sort of we didn't get to finish the story
So we'll
in this
echo it in
world,
this
so
other
let's
thing.
try to carry it on. And
Yeah, I don't know.
deep thoughts.
But Batman Beyond, not my favorite Batman show is always going to be Batman the Animated Series, but Batman Beyond is a very close second. I really like it, and
Yeah.
I'm happy we got showed on Toonami, and I wish we could show it again, but we're not.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah, we're not allowed. So that's it for Batman Beyond. Let's move on to our...
Check it out if you have not already done so. And we, this week, in sort of talking about what people are wearing these days in Batman's, a terrible segue. But anyway, so
Pretty bad segue.
the question of the week for this week was, who's got the, what, I don't know how
Who's
we wrote it.
got the best outfit?
Who's got the best outfit in anime? And
in anime?
so, in the interest of keeping things fair, we decided to actually just pick 3 this week each, and no. Do you have a bonus? I don't have a bonus.
No, I don't have a bonus this week.
So yeah, my in no particular order. First,
These aren't the best ever. These are just 3 of our favorites.
yeah, I guess that's true. They speak to me on various levels, and
Clothing
I think,
levels.
yeah. So it's mostly like, it looks pretty cool. Like that's pretty much the beginning and the end of my criteria for it. So up first is Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate, and we have a little clip. This is the sort of introduction to Alucard in the first episode of Hellsing Ultimate, and it just sort of gets his pimp walk down pretty sweet, and you can check out his outfit. So it's kind of short, but you can still see what he's wearing. So you just get to see a little peek of Alucard's sweet hat, and
You do like a wide-brimmed hat. I've been in several tropical locales with Gil.
It's true.
and
My people are not strong tanners, and I
He-
like to avoid the
He
sun
is,
rays.
he is not afraid to
I'm
look
actually
like a-
57 years old, but I've stayed in the darkness my entire life.
He's
So
unafraid of a wide-brimmed hat.
exactly. So but I get hot a lot, so I wouldn't wear a big duster,
coat, yeah.
Wild West style, Cool Modi vampire killing outfit.
Yeah, but if you were a vampire, you might not get hot.
I guess so, yeah. If I were an undead killing undead, you want to wear red so that the blood doesn't, you don't have to worry about washing it out of your clothes. I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
practical and it looks sweet.
Is it leather, you think? Is it a red leather
I think
duster?
it's more of like a velour, it looks like to me, maybe.
That would be hard to maintain.
But I mean, maybe he's got several of them. Maybe
Maybe it's a poly blend.
He's put a Nick wash
You know,
on
it'd
it
be good
to
if
where
it was wicking.
beads,
Yeah, it was
beads
wicking.
the blood
Yeah.
and the brains and the guts off of it. But
yeah.
I think it's both practical, functional, and
Stylish.
elemental
Yeah.
in some way. So Alucard looking sweet, dapper in his ensemble. Got the gloves.
Wide brim hat and duster.
Big hat, sweet shades. I mean, pretty much nothing you can go wrong with there. So, Alucard, Hellsing Ultimate, yes, I approve. Up next is Lupin the Third, and this clip is from, and I always mess up this pronunciation, so we'll see if I can nail it this time, Castle of Cagliostro.
I think it's Cagliostro, yeah.
Sort of got it right there. I always want to put an extra in there, and then when I try to take the in out, it just all falls to pieces.
Cagliostro.
But this is, you can see Lupin's outfit and sort of his awesome, hilarious style. So I think that sort of plays into it for my choice for Lupin. But let's check out this clip and we can talk a little bit more about it. I mean, looking dapper, I think if you roll with Lupin, his whole crew looks pretty sweet.
Well
it's just
dressed.
a different time. It's like when you see the old guys getting on the plane and they're all dressed up to rock. Like, there was a time when you just had to wear a coat and tie when you were driving up the side of a mountain and trying to kill a bunch of people to protect a runaway bride. So,
Yeah.
taking care of business, looking stylish while doing so.
All I can think of when I see that clip, I love that movie, but all I can think of is the video game.
Yeah.
They did back in the day so it was Dragon Slayer and then Space
yeah.
Ace, and then those did so well that I think they were looking for other ones, so they made
It's like, what movies do we have lying around that we
Yeah.
could
And
cut
I don't
up
even-
you could press forward and hit a button?
Yeah, and I don't
spend
even
$4
remember.
on.
I don't even remember what the game was called. It was not called Lupin because no one in America knew who Lupin was. But it was basically you played through the story of that movie, and it was my first exposure
To
to Lupin.
yeah,
So I'll always think of it, particularly that racing up the mountain sequence, because it was a real bitch to get the joystick sequence right to dodge and do things. But anyway, so
Yeah.
that's
So-
off topic. But
no, I think that's what we're here for, is
Yeah.
to the deep dive.
exploring.
Exactly.
Exploring.
But yeah, so I mean, you need your suit to move with you when you're climbing up castles and breaking into things and saving people and stealing stuff. So
Yeah.
so my third